Good morning aspirants, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 20th July 2025. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in this video. First one about the impeachment of judges. We are going to discuss about the removal procedure for High Court and Supreme Court judges and what are the provisions in Constitution regarding this. Next about the European Union sanctions on Russia and how it affects India and what is the stand of India regarding this sanction. Next about the Malaprabha river. We are going to discuss about the basics of Malaprabha river, Renuka, Sagar dam and Krishna river. The fourth topic about the KUSUM scheme, then about the POSH Act and Dhan-Dhaanya Krishi Yojana scheme, then BRICS. We are going to discuss Trump's comment on BRICS nations and what is the significance of BRICS for India. So these are the 7 topics we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this news article. This is about impeachment of Justice Varma. So there is an ongoing impeachment process for removing Justice Varma. He is a former Allahabad High Court judge, and sometime before there is unaccounted cash found at Justice Varma's official residence. So this case is still ongoing, and in this context let us discuss about the impeachment procedure. So this is about the polity discussion. Now these are some of the constitutional articles related to the removal of judges. One is Article 124. It talks about the removal of Supreme Court judge on proved misbehavior or incapacity, and this removal requires special majority in both houses of the parliament. So the special majority is just the majority of total membership with the 2/3 of members present and voting. So this is a special majority. Next one is Article 124. It also talks about parliament may regulate the investigation procedure. So as per this, parliament has created an act called Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. So major provisions regarding the impeachment procedure of judges are contained in this act, that is Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. Another article related to this is Article 217, which talks about the removal procedure of High Court judge. So this is the similar removal procedure for High Court judges. So this is Article 217. Article 124 is about the Supreme Court judges removal. Article 217 is about the High Court judges removal. And this Judges Inquiry Act 1968 is an important legislation which guides this removal procedure. So this is all we have to know about this. In order to remove a Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge, a motion has to be passed with 100 Lok Sabha members or 50 Rajya Sabha members have to sign this motion. And the speaker or chairman have to admit this motion, and if they admit this motion, an inquiry committee is set up. According to the Judges Inquiry Act, an inquiry committee is set up. After the report produced by the inquiry committee, each house must pass the motion by special majority. If both houses passed the motion by special majority, then the judge can be removed by the president. So this is the process of removal of a judge by this impeachment procedure. Now this is a prelims practice question. Removal of High Court judges. Consider the following statements. A High Court judge can be removed by the President on the recommendation of Chief Justice of India. A motion for removal must be supported by special majority in both houses of Parliament. Grounds for the removal are proved misbehavior or incapacity. Now look at the first statement. It is clearly incorrect because President, as of him, he cannot remove the High Court judge directly, because to remove a High Court judge, a motion has to be passed in the Parliament, and after that only President can remove the judge. So he cannot remove just on the recommendation of Chief Justice of India. So the first statement is clearly incorrect. The second and third statements are correct. So with this, let us move on to the next news article discussion. The answer for this question is option A, 2 and 3 only, because the first statement is incorrect. Now look at this article. European Union has issued sanctions on Russia. So this is for Russia's war against Ukraine, and this is a series of 18th sanction on Russia. So European Union has condemned Russia for its war against Ukraine and issued fresh sanctions on Russia. So this sanctions also affected some industries in India because Russia has some shares or stakes in Indian industries. So one of the energy refinery in Gujarat, which has Russia's energy industry as a partner, is also affected by this sanction. So in retaliation to this sanction, India has issued an official statement, and this is only discussed in this article. So for this European Union sanction, India has said that it only accepts UN mandated sanctions. So India has criticized this European Union's sanctions as a unilateral one. So India has said that it does not comply with the European Union sanction or United States sanctions. India also said that it will uphold the strategic autonomy of its industries and economy. So it does not comply with the sanctions of EU or US. India will only accept the sanctions from UN and UN mandated sanctions. So this is about the stand of India. This is because this is the 18th sanction of European Union against Russia. So this sanction, this 18th sanction will also affect some industries in India. So this is a news article and this is an explanation. For this, let us discuss a prelims practice question. With reference to international sanctions, consider the following statements. Sanctions imposed by United Nations Security Council are binding on all member states. Yes, the statement is correct. Sanctions imposed by European Union or United States are legally binding? No, this is not correct because these are unilateral sanctions. So India is not abiding by these sanctions. India follows only United Nations mandated sanctions. Yes, the statement is correct. So the correct answer is option 1 and 3. With this, let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this news article. Karnataka state government has ordered the release of water from Renuka Sagar Dam, and this Renuka Sagar Dam is situated on the Malaprabha river. So in this context, we are going to discuss about the Malaprabha river. This Malaprabha river is a tributary of Krishna river, so we are going to discuss about the basics of Krishna river also. So now let us get into the discussion. Firstly, about the news, this Renuka Sagar Dam is also known as the Malaprabha Reservoir and it is situated on the Malaprabha river, which is a tributary of Krishna river. So this dam was commissioned in 1973 and this plays a crucial role in reducing the agricultural distress in this area. So this is basically located in Karnataka. So this is all about the news article. Now let us see some basic facts about the Krishna river. Krishna river originates in the Mahabaleshwar in the Western Ghats and it is in Maharashtra. So it originates in Maharashtra and passes through Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Finally drains into Bay of Bengal. So it passes through 4 states, that is Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. It originates in the Western Ghats at a place called Mahabaleshwar. So it is more than 1400 km long. So this is the 4th longest river in India. So 4th longest river in India is the Krishna river. And look at these facts, the left bank tributaries and the right bank tributaries. Bhima, Dindi, Musi, Petavahu, these are the left bank tributaries. Tungabhadra, Malaprabha, Ghatprabha and Koyna rivers, these are the right bank tributaries. So the news article we are discussing today, it has a Malaprabha reservoir. So Malaprabha is a right bank tributary of this Krishna river. So in this Malaprabha river only the Renuka Sagar Dam is situated. Now look at some basic details about the Renuka Sagar Dam. It is on the Malaprabha river, which is a right bank tributary of Krishna river, and it is located in Karnataka and it was created in 1973. So these are some of the facts. Now look at this prelims practice question. With reference to major dams and river systems in South India, consider the following statements. Renuka Sagar Dam is located on the left bank tributary of Krishna river and is primarily used for hydroelectric power generation. No, the statement is incorrect. It is situated on the right bank tributary. Lal Bahadur Shastri Reservoir is a part of Upper Krishna project and is located upstream of Narayanpur Dam. So this second statement is correct. The Lal Bahadur Shastri Reservoir, which is also called as the Almaty Dam, is a part of Upper Krishna project and it is located upstream of Narayanpur Dam. So this Narayanpur Dam, Lal Bahadur Shastri Reservoir, Renuka Sagar Dam, all these dams are located in Krishna river. The first statement is incorrect because it is on the right bank tributary. So only the second statement is correct. So the correct answer is option B, 2 only. With this, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. Karnataka officials are trying to take steps for the speedy implementation of KUSUM-C scheme. So in this context, we are going to discuss about the PM-KUSUM scheme. This scheme is about giving solar powered water pumps for the farmers to increase their income and also to reduce the diesel use in agriculture. So this will ensure energy security because the water pumps will be powered by solar panels, and this will also support India's nationally determined contribution target, which is using 40% of non-fossil fuel by 2030. So the target of the scheme is 34,800 megawatt solar power by 2026, and more than 34,000 crore were allocated for the scheme. So Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is the ministry which is implementing this PM-KUSUM scheme, and this was launched in 2019. So this is about the basic details regarding the scheme. Now let us discuss the important features of the scheme. The central subsidy was given to the farmers up to 30% or 50%. So it is for providing the standalone solar pumps and also for solarization of grid connected pumps. So if the farmers are having already electricity powered pumps, they can switch to the solarized pumps. So also the farmers who doesn't have water pumps, they can have a standalone solar pumps. So this is the two important component of this scheme. One is the standalone solar pumps and another one is solarization of grid connected pumps. So this is already connected to the electricity grid and they can make it as a solar pump, and they can buy a new solar pump. So for this the central subsidy was given up to 50%. The farmers can also install up to 2 megawatt solar power plants on the fallow land or barren land, and they can also sell the surplus power to DISCOM. So farmers can also set up that up to 2 megawatt solar power plants in their barren land. So for this also the central subsidy is given. Now there are three important components for this PM-KUSUM scheme. One, the component A, it is about the decentralized solar plants. As we told earlier, the solar plants up to 2 megawatt can be installed on the barren land of the farmers, and they can sell the excess power to the government itself, that is to the DISCOMs. The target was up to 10,000 megawatt power and up to 2 megawatt for each within 5 kilometer substations. So within the 5 kilometers 2 megawatt solar power plants can be created, and this power, excess power, can be sold to the DISCOM, and this power can be used by the farmers for the irrigation for powering their water pumps. Now the component B talks about the standalone solar pumps. So these are the water pumps which are powered by solar panels. So 20 lakh pumps are to be distributed among the farmers, and this was the target, and this is for off-grid areas. So the farmers whose agricultural lands were not located near the grid connected areas, so for them the standalone solar pumps were given, so they can be powered just by solar panels. So for this 30% state subsidy is also given. Now the last component is component C. It is about the solarization of grid connected pumps. So farmers who have already the electricity grid connected pumps, that is electricity pumps, they can make it as a solar pump. For this 15 lakh pumps have to be solarized. This is the target. Now look at the eligible beneficiaries: individual farmers, a group of farmers, FPOs, panchayats, cooperatives, water user associations. So all these are the eligible beneficiaries for this PM-KUSUM scheme. Which of the following is not a benefit of PM-KUSUM scheme? So the correct answer is option C, increasing transmission losses in rural feeders. So reducing the dependence on thermal power, ensuring daytime reliable electricity supply for irrigation, lowering subsidy burden on DISCOMs. So all these are one of the uses or benefits of this KUSUM scheme. This increasing transmission losses in rural feeders. So this is not the aim of this scheme. So the correct answer is option C. With this, let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. Odisha government expedites POSH implementation across the state, and this move comes after student self-immolation and following public outreach. So in this context, we are going to discuss the basic details about this POSH Act. Here POSH means Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. And this act was based on the Vishaka Guidelines of 1997, which was issued by Supreme Court. And this act was enacted under Article 15, right to equality, and Article 21, right to life and dignity. Now these are the key provisions of the act. This act defines the workplace. What is a workplace? It can include office, educational institutions, sport facilities, NGOs, or even online workspaces. So this has a wide scope of definition for workplace, and this act provides for Internal Complaints Committee, that is ICC. This internal complaints committee should be present, and it is mandatory in every office which has 10 employees or more than 10 employees. So every office or establishment which has at least 10 employees should have internal complaints committee to take up the complaints about the harassment. Then about local complaints committee, which is set up by the district officer for workplaces, and duties of employers. So this act mentions the duties of employers. They have to display the POSH rules and helplines and conduct awareness programs, and also they have to submit the annual reports. So these are the duties of employers which are mentioned in this POSH Act, and the time limit for complaints is also mentioned here. This is within 3 months the action should be taken. Next, about the penalties. If the employer has non-compliance with the Act, it can lead up to fines of 50,000 and cancellation of licenses for their company. So these are some important features which are mentioned in this Act. And this act was created based on the Vishaka guidelines, which was a landmark case in 1997, Vishaka versus state of Rajasthan. Supreme Court recognized sexual harassment as a violation of fundamental rights under Article 14, 15, 21, 19, 1G. Now looking at the composition of Internal Complaints Committee, it should have a presiding officer, a senior woman employee, and this senior woman employee should be the presiding officer. It is a mandatory one. And then it should have at least 2 members, preferably from the employees committed to the cause of women or who have experience in social work. So with the presiding officer, there should be at least 2 members. And this Internal Complaints Committee should be present at every workplace or office which has more than 10 employees. There should also be an external member in this ICC. The external member can be from NGO or association which are committed to the cause of women. And at least 50% of this ICC members must be women. So these are the requirements for creating the Internal Complaints Committee in any office. This ICC will receive complaints of sexual harassment at workplace, which can be of written or through assistance, and they can initiate the inquiry within 7 working days. They conduct the investigation as per the principles of natural justice, and they submit the report to the employer within 10 days of inquiry. Annual report of this ICC should be taken to the district officer every year. So this is about the mandate and powers of Internal Complaints Committee. After inquiring a case, they can take disciplinary action against the accused, or they can deduct the salary or create a compensation to the affected person. So these are the things they can take up after the inquiring the case. So this is all about the Internal Complaints Committee and the POSH Act. Now look at this article. The Union Cabinet has approved Prime Minister Dhan-Dhaanya Krishi Yojana in July 2025. So this article is written about this Prime Minister Dhan-Dhaanya Krishi Yojana. This scheme will be launched in October 2025 in the Rabi season. This is to address the disparities in agricultural productivity. So this scheme basically converges 36 schemes under many union ministries which are already existing. So in this context, we are going to discuss the key features of Prime Minister Dhan-Dhaanya Krishi Yojana. Now look at the key features of the scheme. It is basically a convergence model because it brings together 36 central schemes, which includes the PM-KUSUM-C scheme, PM Faisal Bima Yojana, and all other schemes which are converged into one scheme. So many state schemes were also converged. So totally 36 central scheme and many state schemes were converged under this one scheme. So this is going to be implemented under district Dhan-Dhaanya Samitis. The focus will be on 100 low performing districts with a low cropping intensity and productivity. So 100 low performing districts across the country will be selected, and the district Dhan-Dhaanya Samitis will be established in those districts, and this scheme will be implemented through those district Dhan-Dhaanya Samitis. So this is modeled based on the aspirational district program. So aspirational district program, which was implemented by Niti Aayog. As you all know earlier, this aspirational district program was on the same line, selecting 100 districts and transforming them. So this Dhan-Dhaanya scheme is also modeled based on those schemes. Then each district will develop a customized plan like crop diversification, water soil conservation, and agri self-reliance. So each district will come up with their own plan and they will implement it. The funding will be 24,000 crore, and this is for a period of 6 years. There is also public-private partnership under the scheme. This public-private partnership will encourage local partnership with the private players. This is for productivity, infrastructure, and for value addition. So this public-private partnership is also a main feature of this scheme. So these are the important features we have to remember about the scheme. If you look at the advantage of this scheme, it is a holistic approach because the scheme basically integrates many sub-schemes into this one scheme. So this integrates the financial and technical schemes for more coordinated outcome. Then this scheme focuses on the 100 low performing district. So this focuses on the backward regions of the country. Next, it has optimized resource use because this prevents a duplication of schemes and efforts by the government, and this promote the efficient use of funds and infrastructure for agriculture. So this also has an emphasis on self-reliance and decentralized planning because this scheme is implemented through district level samitis established for this scheme. So this is also about the decentralized planning. So these are some of the advantages of the scheme, and this is the main question regarding this topic. Interested aspirants can make use of it. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. US President Donald Trump has made remarks on BRICS grouping. So this remarks has highlighted the escalating global trade tensions. He also threatened that 10% tariff on imports from BRIC nations will be claimed. If BRICS ever emerged in a meaningful way, then BRICS nation, this grouping will end very quickly. So these are the remarks made by US President Trump, and this remarks says that there is an escalating global trade tensions. He also threatened with 10% tariff on BRIC nations. So these comments have stated the commitment to defend US dollar reserve status. So now let us discuss about the BRICS nations and how BRICS are important and significant for India. So this is what we are going to discuss here. The founding members of the BRICS were Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and in 2024 it was expanded to include Iran and Indonesia and many other countries. The nature of this group is, it is informal one. This is to promote the multipolarity in the world, South-South cooperation, and also many reforms in global governance. So this is the nature of this BRICS group or aim of the group. So to promote the South-South cooperation and to promote the multipolar world order. New Development Bank, Contingent Reserve Arrangement, and BRICS Pay. So these are the key initiatives of this BRIC. The New Development Bank, this is for infrastructure financing in the BRICS countries. Contingent Reserve Agreement, CRA, this is for providing the liquidity support for the members. And there is an ongoing work on BRICS Pay. BRICS Pay means it is a cross-border payment system for BRICS countries in their local currencies. So these are the important initiatives of BRICS. So recently, US President Trump has announced a 10% tariff on imports from countries which align with the BRICS policies. So he called the BRICS countries as anti-American. Trump has specifically targeted Brazil, and he says the Brazil might get 50% tariff for their trade practices. Now let us see the significance of BRICS for India. Firstly, about the economic diplomacy. India benefits largely from New Development Bank funding. New Development Bank is an initiative of BRICS, and India largely benefits from this funding from the New Development Bank. The funding is used in cross-border projects, cooperation in energy, space and infrastructure. BRICS also provide a platform to counterbalance the Western-dominated institutions like IMF and World Bank. So this is about the economic aspect. Regarding the strategic autonomy, India maintains ties with both US and BRICS nations. So this ensures India's diversified strategic options. India also supports a multipolar world order from the beginning, and this is to reduce the dominance of any single country or any single group of countries. Regarding the trade opportunities, the local currency trade reduces the dependence on US dollar. So BRICS countries are opting for trade in local currency. So this can reduce the dependency on US dollar. So this will insulate India from dollar-based volatility. So this will also help the BRICS nation to insulate themselves from dollar's volatility. This will also give them access to large emerging markets. So Brazil, South Africa, Iran, Indonesia, they can access their markets through the local currency. So this can reduce the dependence on dollar. Regarding the challenges, US tariffs and threats can deter some nations from deepening BRICS cooperation. Also, any attempt to bypass the dollar can face resistance from US because USA sees this as a challenge to its economic leadership. So countries, when they started trading with their local currency, this becomes a challenge for US economic dominance. Also, there are internal divergence in BRICS. So this should be patched up before the external enemies. So these are some of the challenges with the BRICS. So this is a mains question regarding this topic. Interested aspirants can use it. With this, let us conclude the discussion. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.